Good evening and welcome. Happy Sunday, everyone. Thank you for tuning into another edition of Drunk Disney Dads. This week is going to look a little different. Our friend Mr. Disney Dave is doing something way more important than being on the stream here with us. But we will get in the boys here. Hold on, my iPad. I think my kids changed the thing, so let's bring in Mr. Neverland Nate. Bro, the kazoo intro is fire. Like it just
really
is. It's so ridiculous. Nate and his family are on their way south right now to do a little mouse hunting, house hunting.
Yeah.
Oh, that mysterious music must mean Mr. Mainstream Marty. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, just another Sunday. I know Nate stopped at McDonald's and he's just kind of cruising and behaving himself on the way down, but I am drinking a high noon. It's a vodka soda. We have weird laws in PA, so they can't really sell beer or seltzers at a liquor store, but this is just vodka and juice, so they get away with it. So one-stop shop.
That works.
Marty, what do you have?
I have Goose Island lemon shandy at the moment, and that is because in Baltimore County we have terrible laws where you can't buy anything on Sundays.
Gotcha. And Nate is drinking High C Orange. He crushed up a bunch of Flintstones vitamins and rimmed the cup. So he's not going to sleep for 3 days.
Kind of feels like it at this point.
Marty, in all honesty, I hate when people say "in all honestly." That's a complete botch. It's like when I could care less, then why don't you? It's couldn't care less. So earlier you said I have nothing to drink today, and I went on the Drizzly app and I tried to gift you a bottle of Bullet Bourbon. It would have been better for me to drive it down to you myself. There was nothing I could do for you because everything's closed in your area on Sundays.
Yeah, it's lame. I mean, there's a couple places, but I wasn't all that worried about it. It's okay. I got some stuff to work.
Gotcha.
with.
Well, we had such a good time last night. I'm sure you're all partied out. Yes, Face Bokuzer. Nate is house hunting in Orlando. So I think that's part of their. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nate, but that's part of your trip currently, correct?
Yes, that is one of the major parts of this. Actually, I only have 2 park days booked right now.
Right.
So.
And it's Epcot and Hollywood, I imagine.
It's Magic Kingdom and Hollywood. No, Magic Kingdom and Epcot. Epcot, yeah.
Yeah, because you have to see the castle. I mean, regardless if it has to be one. That's Marty's favorite park. He loves Magic Kingdom. He loves how they have no booze. He loves how there's no thrill ride. Well, there are some thrill rides there, actually.
Yeah. Rides aren't bad. I just wish they'd, sell me a beer.
The Dumbo ride.
Yeah, I like the Dumbo playground with the air conditioning. That's what I like.
Yeah,
so does Dave.
Dave approves.
That's a Dave approved. Dave approved picture. No, we're gonna miss him tonight. That's okay.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, speaking of Magic Kingdom, so last week we talked about Behind the Attraction. The first episode was Jungle Cruise. We all had mixed feelings on it. Some people have a certain affinity towards the ride. Others didn't feel so strongly about it. We didn't really like the tone of the show, or at least I didn't. And maybe it's because this second episode had to do with Haunted Mansion, but I was a lot more tolerant of the broadcast and or the just the way it was presented to us, because I liked what they were talking about and it was important to me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that this episode in general was much more universally appealing. I didn't know some of the stuff about the differences between, because when they started talking and said that Disneyland takes you down an elevator and takes you underground, I'm like, in Orlando, I could have sworn that the roof went up. And, later in the thing, I find out I'm right. So it was like, oh, okay, I wasn't.
That's because insane. It's because of the water table in Florida. They have to, take things up instead of going down below. And, and I know Disneyland is the OG. And I was telling the boys before the stream that they showed this, like, start with Disney World. Show me the one that I've been to a million times. Make your television show for me. And I was just highly offended that they didn't.
And I also realized that I really want to go to the Phantom Manor. That one looks dope.
Phantom Manor, and also Mystic Manor.
Well, no, but Phantom Manor had like a totally different theme. Well, they both are totally different theme completely. But the Western thing, that was like, whoa, that looks
What?
awesome.
And that was one of the fine pills, not the fine pilsners, the fine points is so they couldn't have a dilapidated, falling apart structure in Disneyland or Disney World because everything is so well kept and so tight and glossy looking that it took them a while to figure out what to even do with these facades down there. And I thought that was interesting. So, but being in that Western town, it's Phantom Manor, right? That's the one that's in the frontier town or whatever. Then it also it fits with the theme. And also, I think they said that's the only place it actually fit on the property, so it's a good damn thing.
Yeah, is it a?
Yep.
No, I think it was Tokyo. They said that, but there's one where it's right next to It's a Small World.
It's a small.
Oh, which I found hilarious.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a small world. Now you're dead.
I like that version of the song.
Lives 30 minutes from the parks. Love it here. And Fache Boku's there says, Ayo, and nice to see you too.
I'm not seeing any comments, just so everybody knows in case people are asking me questions.
No, that's fine. They're like, why is Nate not pulling up the comments? We've had that question 14 times. So I guess we all know the Haunted Mansion story and how long it took for it to even come to fruition, and it's because Walt didn't know what to do with it. It kept getting sidetracked, and honestly, he never even saw it live. He never saw it open because he died before then. So I think it was a combination of things. It was not that killed him. I'm no doctor, not like Dave. I think Haunted Mansion took so long to open because he didn't know what his vision was for it. And then he had so many people that he hired to work on it. And they all came from vastly different backgrounds. They were different personalities. And they just simply couldn't figure out what to do with it. And ultimately, it was the best of, both different, artists and Imagineers. The front half of the ride was scary and gloomy. And the second half was, much ghost revelry.
How about I thought it was really trippy because I didn't know this either, that the queue or whatever, that whole first section.
Hi, Desi and Mark.
Where I think we go through and you first see the wallpaper and all that. It looked like they were walking through that initially and before they got on the dune buggy.
Right.
Which I was like, that's kind of wild. So you'd go through this thing already and you're actually able to stop and look at some of those pictures that you just cruise by now.
Well, it's going to be a walkthrough thing, just like the haunted houses we go to in Bum F, Pennsylvania.
Right. The carnival.
Yeah, but I just don't know with Disney and the crowds. What I was thinking when they said that it was originally going to be a walkthrough ride is how do you make that an intimate and scary experience if you're letting through 50 people at a time? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's going to be people making fun of it, joking around. And when we go to haunted houses, up this way, it's all the local high school kids working, and they're like, "Oh, hi, Peter, I know it's you," and it takes it out of it. And with a walkthrough ride, you really can't do that.
Yeah, that's
true.
True.
Ride if it was a walkthrough.
Listen, Nate, are you enjoying your walk down to Disney? Shut up.
No, this is definitely a ride.
Yeah, you said the weather. You said the weather's been garbage.
We've hit some storms that were seriously like stuff I've never driven through before, and like I was saying earlier before we started, is that I need everybody to realize that when you're driving, there's a triangle that you can press in your car, and that doesn't mean, oh look, it's raining, I get to go 10 miles an hour on the highway now. That's not what that button's for.
Right.
It's
These cars are well equipped enough, like all-wheel drive or not, where we can kind of drive normally.
Yeah. Without the use of rain flashers.
Right.
But one of the things I wanted to say is I appreciate that Walt pit all these creative geniuses against each other to come up with what the Haunted Mansion was going to be, or Phantom Manor, or all of them really, because they all stem from the same. But he pit all these, like Yale Gracie and, everybody. He took everybody in there.
Right.
Together to
and Yale Gracie was that's Master Gracie, that's the t-shirts and the tombstones or the headstones and all that stuff is that's where that came from. And I think Haunted Mansion did a really good job of everybody working on the ride. They said at Christmas time when you have the overlay, the names on the gift the tags on the gifts are people that have worked on the ride, and I think that's pretty cool.
No, I didn't catch that part.
That was in Imagineering. They didn't really say that.
Okay.
I'm hearing sound effects, and
yes, Nate he's traveling through the Haunted Mansion right now. We will wait for him to return. Like I said, he's on his way down south now. I think he's south of South Carolina at this point. I'm not really sure, but
don't know.
But anyway,
what time did you leave?
9:30, 12:30. Is Nate moving a little more smoothly? Nate, blink if you're in trouble. Okay, he can't hear me. Are you back, buddy? Hi, Nate.
Okay, that's going well.
All right, 6. So that's not going very well. But yeah, I like all the different. It's Haunted Mansion, and it's a mansion or it's a manor, but you have to change the story behind the ride based on the part of the world that you're in. They said, like in like the Japanese culture, they can't ghosts and afterlife. It doesn't really translate.
Is that the Mystic Manor one?
Yes.
Yeah, and they made it into like basically a house of artifacts or something. It looks like something
magic and
so that one was pretty wild. I really did think the French one, and they had a lot of that. Your environment around you, they live in that culture, and they reference the catacombs and being able to walk down through there. So the typical haunted house in America didn't really do anything for the French, so they had to take it a different direction and came up with that Wild West theme, which honestly I think it'd be really cool if they would rotate some of those throughout the parks if it was possible with some kind of different overlay, but that's probably like a massive overhaul.
I wonder if they do the overlays overseas too. I might have missed that on there, but I mean that's such a Nightmare Before Christmas is one of the most iconic things in I don't know film history, at least to me. And speaking of iconic,
I got to see that once.
Do you think Nate needs, in order for the LTE to work, do you think he needs his intro music? I think he very well might. Let's
worth a shot.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. And he's back. All right, you're good now. I know you went through a little
rough spot there.
A little thing. But anyway, yeah, we were just talking. Nate, do you know if they do the overlays on the rides overseas as well?
They only do it in Disneyland, and I believe they said Tokyo.
Really? But yeah, I mean, but Nightmare Before Christmas kind of transcends the United States, so that's kind of
I think it should be at Walt Disney World, hands down.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I feel. All right. Anyway, so speaking of scary, and this is slightly unrelated. Hold on, let me. So Lollapalooza was just in Chicago, and a bunch of different bands performed. Bands that we know, bands that we're some kind of friends with a little bit. Limp Bizkit performed, and Fred Durst. Look, people think this is fun. I think he looks incredible. He looks like he should be from the Beastie Boys Sabotage video.
He looks like Burt Macklin or something. Like he's an undercover Serpico style.
It's Kurt Hackman.
Yeah, Kurt Hackman.
Ron, what's up, bro? But can I tell you something? They're at the point in their careers where they're old and they're only doing shows that they want, and they're probably rich. So he's doing whatever he wants, and I think that's hilarious. And that's Fred Durst, and it's not scary to me. It's important, and I think funny.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. But yeah, so I mean, Haunted. We all know the story of Haunted Mansion and all the different people that it took to create it, and but this episode of Behind the Attraction, I did like the little tidbits, like when they were coming up with all of the scary elements of the ride, they just put them all into one room, and the janitors wouldn't go in there.
Yeah, right.
So in order
to rigged the whole room to scare the piss out of them every time.
Bro. And I thought that was hilarious. So yeah, so they would rig the whole room to go off overnight, timed, and scare the hell out of these guys to the point where anybody working on the Haunted Mansion, they had to clean their own rooms or shops down there because the janitors refused to go in. I thought that was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, they all quit.
That is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, wouldn't you? I don't like being scared. It's Shark Week. I was talking to a buddy of mine about Shark Week, and sharks terrify me. Like, I'm not going in the ocean, just like those janitors weren't going in the room to clean up the Haunted Mansion stuff. Like, I'm just not messing with that. No, thank you.
We did
Dude, I
have
just about go into deep pools. Okay.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did
yeah.
have one good thing come out of last evening, Steven, and that was the jet skis are now referred to as boater cycles.
Boater cycles. Correct.
That
Yep.
is new.
You
New
boater
term for
cycling son
jet
of a
skis.
bitch.
Patent pending, patent pending.
Right. Exactly.
Band name called it.
Well, anyway, yep. Nate's on the road, so we're just kind of chatting about Haunted Mansion a little bit. Now, does anybody have a favorite Halloween costume from when they were younger? What is one of the one that you remember the most? That got the best pop, or that you liked personally the best?
I had a Batman one that my mom actually made, and it was dope. I couldn't believe it.
Nathan?
I actually had one of the old corny Stormtrooper ones.
Oh,
Yep, after my He-Man one that I put it on and I hated it because I just looked terribly fat. And I got upset about it. So I ended up getting one of those, you remember with the mask and you can see it through the piece
yeah.
of plastic. I mean, I'm also old, so.
Well, the He-Man costume, it
Yeah.
has like the abs and the muscles like drawn onto it. Like no one's going to fill that thing out nicely unless you're Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And he was like,
Yeah, yeah.
so, yeah. And Steve, what about you?
Let's see. So Marty mentioned that he had the homemade costume. I too had a homemade costume, and I was obsessed with Ghostbusters. So my mom made me, well, not made me, but kind of put all this together. I did have the official.
I
don't
had
know
that
if
proton pack.
Yeah, I don't know if Kenner made it, but the proton pack. But you can see I have like the little walkie-talkie on the side that I think was like a repurposed Fisher Price thing. I got the Ghostbusters armband, the Egon glasses, the bowl cut.
Pumpkin pie haircut and fruit.
Bro, my pants say boo. Like that's great.
My pants.
What are you gonna
say boo.
catch? You're gonna catch your own pants?
I'm gonna catch my own pants. Well, if I'm not gonna catch it, I was 7. Like I'm not gonna catch a ghost, but I can maybe catch the pants I'm wearing. Like I don't really know. But yeah, so this was that was my Halloween costume.
Who picks Egon?
Bro, I don't. Well, I liked Egon because he was the tinkerer, and with the trap and the proton pack, and I don't know. I just felt like that he was the guy behind all the gadgets.
Yeah,
and when in reality, I'm actually
I just wanted to be Venkman and be along for the ride and let you guys do all the hard work.
Yeah, I'm Venkman in real life. I'm just like I'm smart, possibly a drunk, like just whatever. But anyway, yeah. So now, favorite Halloween candy. You can pick one.
Frozen Reese's Pieces.
No, but no. See, that's not going to work because you're not getting a frozen Reese's Pieces out when you're walking around. You're getting whatever they hand you.
In the in Alaska, you would.
Well, damn, yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
So
Anchorage Marty, that's your new name on here.
Yeah. So in my defense, I do travel to Alaska every October. For trick-or-treating, specifically for frozen chocolates.
And that's why Marty's family had to make his costumes because they spent all their money on airfare.
That's right. 100% accurate. It was mostly made from hotel room curtains.
Oh, man, I wish people cared. Because this is some funny shit. So there are candies that I like. I'm not a big sweets guy. I'd rather have like nachos or burgers or shit like that.
Yeah.
But when I do want a sweet, I like a Fifth Avenue, a whatchamacallit, a Butterfinger, Reese's, something like that. But a candy I kept forgetting about when we were out there was the Crackle.
Oh, bro, frozen Crackle's great too. And if you're catching a theme here, I prefer all my chocolates frozen.
Yeah, Jesus, Dexter.
Yeah, I prefer them all frozen. I keep the head of one from on my keychain.
Yep.
What's the Crackle's just pretty much Hershey's version of Nestle Crunch, right?
That's correct. Yeah. But Nestle Crunch had their rice was a little more like fine.
I actually like the Crackle. I like the Crackle better.
Crackles are great. Also, Mr. Goodbar.
Mr. Goodbars were awesome.
Yeah, I know. That's what I just said.
Frozen Charleston Chew, man. Frozen mini Charleston Chews. That was it.
So what did your teeth do to you to make you so angry at them? A frozen Charleston Chew. It's ridiculous. Nate has wooden teeth. He works on the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
His teeth are made of wool. Made of wood, not wool.
Dude, yeah, I F with it. I F with the Charleston Chew. I like, you know what I do like? A Heath bar. I'm a toffee guy.
No,
Oof.
hard pass.
Oh, really? You don't like toffee?
You know my dad's favorite candy, Mary
What?
Jane's, and I was like, those are ridiculous. Those shouldn't even exist.
It's like the sugar daddies and sugar babies that will just like annihilate
Oof.
$8,000 worth of braces in 5 seconds.
Nice
Yep.
now and later.
Now and laters are the same thing.
Yep.
Jawbreakers. There's a lot of irresponsible candy actually out there.
Yeah. Who's inspecting this stuff?
Oh, boys, you know what we should do? Come
What?
the fall, we need to do a candy bracket.
Oh.
You know what I
Hey,
mean?
let
Like
me ask you a question. If we're gonna talk, let's talk about Halloween candy. Are we putting candy corns in the candy corn pumpkins in the same category? How about that?
They're both equally disgusting, so sure.
I kind of like them both
Okay.
a little bit.
Me too. I like the pumpkins better just because they look better.
I would say that it's going to be candy corn / candy pumpkin.
Okay.
It's you gotta have
we
them
can
both.
we can hash out these gritty details later.
No, I think we need to decide right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wish somebody had something to do a shot with.
Wish
I mean,
if I wasn't driving, I would find something.
Well, that's okay. There was plenty of that last week. I think we had 8,000 shots and everyone was screaming. It sounded like a crowded bar last week. The stream did.
Well, you can't win them all.
So what's the next episode of Behind the Attraction? Do we know what the ride is specifically?
I know there's Tower of Terror is one, and
No, the next one was
I didn't say it was next.
R2D2.
Oh, Star
R2D2.
Tours.
Star Tours.
Yeah, there you go.
Star Tours
Yeah.
and Tower of
And
Terror, and I
I think that's it. I think there's 4.
thought there was 5. All right, well,
Well,
whatever.
maybe there's 5. Huh.
All right, yeah. So I don't know. So we'll start getting into all those. We'll pull some content for them. But the Haunted Mansion stuff, not that it wasn't a cool episode. I just feel like we've talked about it, ad nauseum at this point. Everybody kind of knows the story behind it and why it's important to all of us. I mean, I have Haunted Mansion hand tattoos. It's a very important attraction to all of us. I like hearing about all the overseas versions of it.
Yeah, that was a lot of stuff I hadn't heard. I didn't know how different a couple of them really were, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to do the trackless one. That just
Bro.
sounds amazing.
So the only one that's trackless, I think, is Mystic Manor. Is that true?
Right, but isn't that the one that has the glitter? You follow
Yeah.
the little
Yeah, it's
That
like a
was
fiber
awesome.
optic curtain, which I think
Yeah.
is what Muse, the band Muse, they used on tour, so
Yeah.
they could project all their stuff onto it. But
Yeah, that was sick.
but pretty cool. But the thing with the trackless ride is there are so many cars in each room and cars leaving a room and coming into a room that you have to make sure the attraction is seamless. And even though people are looking at the same stuff, it has to coincide with the story they were told in the previous room. So that's a very difficult thing to manage.
right.
Yeah, and I think part of the genius behind the design is that they put the speakers in each Doom buggy so that everybody's at a different point as you're going throughout. So you're not
Right.
hearing something that you can't see yet or vice versa.
It flows you into it nicely. That makes sense.
Oh.
So the bride, but it is funny. So the first part of Haunted Mansion is it's pretty sinister, and then the bride, you see that, and that's terrifying. And then all of a sudden, everybody's dancing and engaging in games and playing lutes and just having a good time. It's a nice dichotomy, as they say. I don't know who they is, but that's what they say.
And what
Yeah,
about the whole hat box situation they had to deal with?
Right.
Yeah.
That was cool
Yeah.
too. Like learning how they tested it in one room, and then they went to make it work, and it was like, wow, this sucks. Let's just
Right.
scrap this whole project.
Right. Yeah. Well, and then the guy was just working on it in his garage after hours, and then
Yep.
it finally comes to fruition. And I feel like there's a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of Imagineers that kind of take the ball and run with it, even when it's initially scrapped. And then can you imagine not having the Hatbox Ghost or something? Something like that. It's just that's I think how some of the important stuff kind of comes about is these guys not taking no for an answer. And that's kind of been Disney's calling card since the very beginning.
Right. That's why they're Imagineers, because they imagine things.
Yep. All right. Well, Nate, you have a safe trip and a good time,
Will
and
do.
keep us posted down there. Make sure you post in the Drunk Disney Dads community and kind of keep everybody up to speed on what's going on.
Yep. So tomorrow night, everybody be warned now. Be ready. There will be multiple lives tomorrow. Grotto is being visited tomorrow by me, because we will be at Poly early enough for me to get in line.
Uh-huh.
So anybody who wants to come down to Grotto, if you're in town, please do. I'm planning on getting there at 6:30 in the morning and waiting outside.
Right.
Get
He's going there right
reservation.
now.
Right. I'm
Nate's
literally
actually driving in
there.
circles around Poly right now. Let him fool you. All
I'm
right. Well,
actually
yeah.
I'm on the Magnolia course on the 8th hole, just ripping through the
Oh
fairways.
my God. Nate, stop. All right. Well, safe travels. Keep us posted on everything, and we'll get into some stuff this week, and we'll have the full crew back next week.
All right, guys.
Sounds like a winner.
All right. Sounds like a wiener. Later, boys.